Okay, I don't know if this is working exactly the way I want it to. I'm gonna have to, I'm on my laptop. I need to pull up my phone and make sure the stream is actually streaming. So sorry for the fan noises. Sure, it's horrible. Guess I'll find out. Am I streaming? Supposedly. Exactly the way I want it to. Yeah, okay, cool. The stream is working. Hip hip hooray. Let's see. I'll just keep this over here. So, I'm going to be working on my game today. Oh, I just realized I need to set an alarm. I put laundry in. It'll be like an hour, 10 minutes-ish from now. I'll need to take a little break and deal with laundry, but I guess that's a good break point. Okay, so it's been a while since I have done this. I've worked on this game a lot. Not streaming. I figured I would stream today because it's one of those days like I am feeling kind of tired, and I don't know if I will work on this that long without having a stream up, because I feel like when I stream it's like I'm talking to someone and I have someone to bounce my thoughts off of, even though I'm just talking to myself and there's usually no one here, but it makes me feel better. I already broke my thing because I didn't create an exit thing for that. Anyway, as an update on what I have done so far, I guess there's actually quite a lot to go over since I last streamed. I've been working on the frame manager and shop and stuff. So I have the different slots, the augment slots that you can equip augments to, and I don't have any augments right now because I've actually linked it up to where you can buy them from the shop now with money that you've earned, which you can see credits here. And then you have your modifiers that you can slot into the different slots. You can upgrade the slots and put the different modifiers in, and it will save it to the player data and actually remember what you've dragged in. I can buy augments here, which I know that looks horrible right now. And, oh, I didn't have enough money because I spent it on an upgrade. Oops, it's 1,000 for the first one. But, may not look that impressive, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that had to be done to get all of that to work, and also save properly to player data. Also, I noticed I need to fix this. You can, like, drag the scroll bar, like, into the, like, slots here, which is really weird. So I need to fix that. But, anyway, that is working. It looks horrible. The modifiers don't even have any the visuals to identify what modifier each one is, so that's very confusing. But it's a prototype right now, and I don't care. I just need the baseline to work. Anyway, if we go to Planet 1, planets each have their own objective now. It's not time-based. So Planet 1, you basically have to invoke a certain amount of fear or terror, and you do that by destroying buildings and killing people. Right now I have it set to where you can do that pretty quickly, just because I wanted to be able to complete the objective quick to test it. So you can see on the top right it says Objective Terrified, it's at 0%. If I destroy like a full building, it goes to 10%. You can also knock over these lampposts and trees now, which is pretty cool. And eventually, if I terrify enough, then extraction will start, which I also need to make like some UI thing that shows you where the extraction is, because it's a little not intuitive. Also need to clamp those numbers on the top right, but again, these are little things that I don't care about right now because I'm just trying to get everything to work. Okay, so it's at 100% now, so extraction is somewhere flying around, and I can't see it because, again, I don't have like an indicator of what direction it's in, which is not too hard to do actually, but there it is. And then right now you just kind of touch this beam here, and then you go back up, and you're here. And then now I see I have more money. I could buy an augment. Now I actually have an augment, which is a flamethrower. And then I couldn't tell. I actually forget what these do. I think the blue one is like electric damage. I think this one's poison. This could be anything. Don't remember what the red is. I think red is crit, actually. But anyway, you can equip these, and they actually do work and do things. So if I do the blue, which I'm like pretty sure is electric damage, I'm going to go to Planet 2. I'll have my flamethrower, but it will also be shooting out like electricity and do some extra damage, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. I'd like to make it so that if you have electric damage, it kind of goes in between different enemies. Yeah, right now it looks pretty terrible, but you can see it shooting out that blue stuff, and it's supposed to be like electricity, but you know, it doesn't really look like it right now. It's just kind of something to signify that that modifier is working for me. Anyway, this is the second planet I've been working on. I had to completely remake the AI system, and I ended up remaking it for both planets, so that they can actually chase you through here, so you can see they'll climb on the walls and shit to come and get you, which is pretty dope. Also, when they die, I don't know why the prefab is super small, but whatever. And on this one, you actually have to destroy the nests that they're spawning from. And also they will drop modifiers. Also, the sun is like super bright and will shine in here. I really need to fix that. Again, it's a visual thing. Right now I do not care that much because I'm just trying to get shit to work. But they will drop modifiers, which right now are these like white orbs, because also, again, haven't really worried about visuals too much. But let me see if I can find one of the spawners here. I might also make an indicator to where spawners are to make that a little easier. Where art thou, spawner? Where? God, it's so bright. I'm gonna, whatever. Anyway, you would destroy the 3 spawner nests, and then you could extract from that planet. That's kind of where I'm at. There's a lot of other things that have been done, but I don't feel like going over them right now. So, today, I'd like to create a ranged enemy type, and I'd also like to have a chance for enhanced enemies to spawn that have more health, do more damage, and are faster. Chance of spawn should increase with the objectives completed, so planets completed, which I am tracking in the player data as well. Creating the ranged enemy type shouldn't be too difficult, and this shouldn't be too bad either. I do have a really terrifying one on here that I don't know if I will do today, or start today rather, which is recreate the player movement system to work like the AI so the player cannot get stuck. So, I'm having this issue specifically with the Vermin 2 planet because this planet has caves and stuff, which is cool and all. I ran into this issue with the AI where, because gravity was just, towards the planet, they would, not be able to climb up the sides and stuff. So I had to create this system where they basically, detect a mesh below it and then can move on that mesh and it adjusts the rotation. I think I kind of need to just do the same for the player, because the problem is, as the player, you can get stuck on these edges here and it's super annoying. To do that, though, I basically have to reprogram the entire movement system, which is just gonna suck. Here's one of the spawners. They also don't have visuals. It's just a black dot, but they can be destroyed, which is cool. And their health does scale with objectives completed. So, anyway, we're gonna start with creating the ranged enemy type. Now, I have a general kind of idea of how I want to go about this. So, if I take if I go into prefabs here, which I need to also organize stuff better, but it's okay. It's just a prototype. I have this Vermin 2 here, and on this guy, it's Vermin 2 melee. It has this. It has this attack melee script, which is relatively simple. Go ahead and open this up. So you can see I have a specified attack range here, a delay between attacks, and then the actual damage it does. And basically, it just repeats this every 1 second if it's near the player, and if it is overlapping with the player, within this overlap sphere that I create here, that's determined by the attack range, it will lower the player health. So, that's basically all that's doing. Essentially, I need to replace this script for the ranged prefab that I'm going to be making. Not sure why it's recompiling. Did I change something? I don't even know. Oh yeah, I repositioned that because I didn't like how that looked. Words. I need to create a ranged version of this, and I think I'm going to have it shoot out a physical projectile. I think I want to... The idea here is that these are ice creatures. Obviously they don't look great right now because they're just placeholders. But they'll shoot out ice shards, the ranged ones will. Really love it if this would load. My god, I literally barely touched the code. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and just unpack this prefab, and I'm gonna change it to be _vermin2_ranged. And we're gonna remove this attack melee script, and I'm gonna create a new script called attack ranged. Right now, I guess I'll just worry about... I don't know what this weird restore up bug is. Went away. Okay. So it's actually going to kind of be similar to the attack melee, at least with how this works. Let me just grab all of this. Attack ranged. Like so. Now for attack, I don't know if this is how I want to do this, because kind of needs to be like facing the player. So I'll kind of keep it that way for now, I think, but I might remove that. Attack delay is fine. Damage might be moved to the projectile. It's getting mad at me for the IEnumerator because I need to be using system.collections. Okay, so this works similarly. So we're referencing the data manager. Why was this script referencing data manager again? Oh, right, the attack damage scales with the objectives completed. Duh. Okay. So this can mostly stay the same. Try attack, yield return new, wait for seconds, attack delay. And then we're checking if they're within the attack range, and then for each collider hit we do damage. Although I don't even need an overlap sphere for the range detection, and I'm going to actually remove that. And we're going to remove this. And this. So for now, let's just start with instantiating a projectile. So obviously I need the projectile to instantiate, so we're going to need a public game object. Call this projectile. And in here we're going to instantiate the projectile. And the position I'm going to instantiate it at, I think I'll do a public transform and define that with an empty game object. So we'll do projectile spawn, like so. We'll just say quaternion.identity for no rotation. Actually, I think I'm going to do, let's do dot position. I think we'll do the projectile spawn dot rotation in here. Okay, so that should spawn it in. Now we need to actually apply force to it. So we need to get the rigid body for that, assuming the projectile has a rigid body on it, of course. So I'll create, actually I don't even need to do RB. I think what I'm actually going to do is create an instance reference here. So game object, we'll just call this instance is equal to instantiate, and then I'll do RB rigid body. Actually, we'll do instance, just do this in one line, dot get component. Rigid body, and then dot add force, and this is where I'm going to need the direction, which is going to be in the projectile spawn dot transform dot forward, and I'll multiply this by a new variable public float attack, or we'll just say like projectile force. Set it to like 5 by default. I don't exactly know what I'll need it at. Projectile force. Now, one issue I'm going to run into here, when I instantiate this, it's going to need to immediately be a child of the planet, because if I don't, it's just going to kind of fly off, because again, the planet is moving and rotating, which is okay, but we're going to have to worry about that. So instance, and then I'll destroy the instance after a public float called bullet life. Set that equal to like 5 seconds as well, actually. 5 seconds, not seconds in this case, but whatever. Or it's seconds in this case, not this case. Bullet life. Okay, now that's the roots for what I need. The issue though, again, I need to make the parent the planet, which I need to remember how to do that, actually. I didn't do it here. I do it in the... One way to do this, I need to go into the... I've done this already, so I'm not going to refigure it out. I believe in the health manager. Because I'm spawning in the... Yeah, this ragdoll instance, scene manager move object scene ragdoll instance. Yeah, I had to do this shit. So that's gonna be under here. Now, scene.planet scene equals planet position.gameObject.scene. This is not getting a reference to the planet. I believe the health manager, it had this planet position here, and then it had this find planet function. We could just kind of grab this, I guess. This is not the most efficient way of doing this, but again, prototype. Just making things work as quickly as possible, basically. So I need a private transform planet position. Like so. Now I'm not instantiating a ragdoll in this case. Guess I'll do this above that just to keep things consistent. Put in the instance here. Bam. Cool. Now for find planet, I think I just need to call this in the start function. And we should do that actually before the attack. So find planet. Just remove this line here. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. That should work, he says. I'm sure it won't. So, we need to actually create a projectile we're shooting. Right now I don't care too much about the visual, but I guess I can use one of these just for now. So, for this ranged script, let me add the attack range script to it. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm still using the range. That's fine. But I do need to actually get the range. So I need to get a reference to the player, which would be private transform. Create a little references. Private transform player position. And in the start function, we can just go ahead and set this here. So I'll do it right here. We'll do player pause is equal to find first object by type. Is it just a player controller, I think is what I called it. Dot transform dot position. Oh, never mind. Don't need to do that. Right. Okay. So that assigns the player position, and then I need to get the distance between it, which I need to be doing constantly. So, and just like avoid update. I will say that the, or wait, do I need to do a no. No, I don't think I do, because I just need to do it whenever I would have the opportunity to attack. So do it up here for now. We'll say that the, I need a float distance, which is equal to, I think it's like vector dot distance, and then you put in the player position. I think actually it's practice that you do dot position and then the player position. Okay, this should return the distance between the player and this game, the object that this script is on. And then we can only attack if they're close enough. So we'll say if the distance is less than the attack range, then we can do this. Now, of course, we need to check if we're looking at the... Well, you should be looking at the player anyway. I don't know. Whatever. We'll just see what this does. Yeah. I think that will be fine. So, do I have any... No, I don't. Okay, cool. So we need the projectile and the projectile spawn. For the projectile spawn, I think we'll just go ahead and create an empty... Just call it projectile spawn. And I'll have it just like spawn out of here, I guess. And just so I can like visually see when I'm testing things, which one it is. I'm sure I have like a red material somewhere. Testing. My god. It's fucking ridiculous. Where's just like a red material? There's no way I don't... There we go. Sure. Use the button material. Beautiful. Okay. So we have our projectile spawn here. The blue is pointing forward. Projectile spawn. Great. And now, of course, we need the actual projectile. So let's go ahead and just... actually, I can drag in... I think it would be an organic rocks. Yeah, here's my crystals. I'll just like drag in this one and I'll make it small. Let's unpack this prefab. Grab that. Don't want it that way. And then I'll just do crystal. And actually, let's go ahead and create an empty game. Normally I would separate the graphics from the actual like thicken projectile itself, but like, well, I probably should. Yeah. Okay. Projectile, and then the crystal needs to go under that. Zero the crystal out, like so. I'm just going to rename this to, actually, I'm going to create an empty game object, call it GFX, drag the crystal under there, and now we need to shrink it down. So we'll go ahead and, I'm trying to think, it'll spawn at the rotation it needs to spawn anyways. I'm just going to like shrink this to a reasonable value. Let me kind of compare it over here. Yeah, we'll do like that. And maybe stretch it. Beautiful. Okay, now I need... I'll go ahead and just put the crystal material on there, and why not add the... what do I use on this one? Props. I'll just use this. Didn't I use... I thought I... Whatever. We'll just do that one. Okay, cool. So we have our crystal now. Now the actual projectile needs a rigid body and collider on it, so we'll do rigid body. And then add a collider. I think just a box collider will do just fine. And let me actually do this. Let's go ahead and size this collider to fit the crystal. Good enough-ish. Fuck, like so. Cool, beautiful. Do not use gravity. Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna need to make the projectile have its... Oh wait, don't I have... I'm forgetting if I have a script that... hold on. I could have sworn I made a script that, like, auto look at planet. It's not what I want. Debris. Oh, wait. I thought I had something that just, like, here we go. This is for props, but I think I can just go ahead and put this on the projectile. Because what this is supposed to do... hold on. Let me open this up again. Public transform planet direction. Ah, wait. I see how it work, I think. Hold on. Fuck me. What did I just do? Okay, no. Just Control Z, because I'm scared. I create an empty, I think. Planet direction. Yes, I remember how I had this set up. Okay. I need to drag this into here, and then on this, I can put the auto look at planet, and this should point it towards the planet, so then it knows where the down is, and then it can use this to apply gravity to the object. I think that's how I had that set up. I don't know if this is going to do exactly what I want it to do. I guess one thing I can do is, can I just like, this might give me some errors, but I don't care. I think I can just test if this is doing what it's supposed to do. Yes. The projectile is doing what it's supposed to. Great, perfect, awesome sauce. Sweet. So, great. Now I need to make this into a prefab, so I'll zero this out. And prefabs, this would be in Vermin. Vermin 2. Well, it's actually, hold on. How do I want to organize this? Ragdoll structures, player, organic particles. Let's just create another folder for projectiles. I'm sure I'll have many physics projectiles later on in this game. Projectiles. And just kind of drag you into here. Delete it from there now. Okay. This also is going to need to be zeroed out and made into a prefab, and then we'll assign the thingy. So now you go into Vermin 2. Vermin 2 ranged. Beautiful. There is a reason they are upside down, by the way. I don't care to explain it right now. It's a mess. Projectile. Lock this. Projectiles. Fuck, why did I click that? Okay. Bam! Alrighty, now, the last step I need to do before testing this is, let's just add this to the spawners. So, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I need to select assets, Vermin 2 range. So it has a 50-50 chance of spawning either one of these. I should get one pretty quickly when testing, and not need to worry about removing the melee for testing purposes. So, let's go into scenes, main scene, and give this a test. I'm actually gonna, the sun is just so fucking bright, I'm just gonna turn off the light. Like it is just way too bright in this scene. I need to fix how the light is being cast, because it can go into the caves, which is a problem. Which maybe I need to make it cast shadows, but might affect performance poorly. That's okay. Cool. I'm just gonna, no, never mind, whatever, doesn't matter. So anyway, the hope is that they'll be launching projectiles at me. Now, I got an error, that's probably not good. We already got some ranged ones here. Let's see if I can... Oh shit, I just realized I set the attack, I didn't up the attack range. Do you shoot though now that you're closer to me? Not really seeing anything happen. Yeah, there's something is wrong here. What is not set to an instance of an object? 26. Attack range, 26. Player position. Okay. I'm finding the player controller. Is that not what it's named? Also, this is TMI. I have to take a shit. I will be right back. Hold on, here. I have a great way of displaying this. Hold on. What am I looking for? 3D object. Text Mesh Pro. Bam. Be right back. Should make this real big on the screen. There we go. Alrighty, BRB. Okay, I have returned. I'm back. Okay, so oh yeah, there was an issue with the projectile, so it didn't get a reference to the player position, and I'm wondering if that's because it's called player movement. Right, that would do it. Attack ranged. Search for player movement. There we go. That should fix that. In addition, I need to actually go into the prefab for the ranged vermin because I should probably change the attack range so it's a little easier to test. So prefabs, and let's go to vermin 2. And I'll go ahead and change the attack range to just be something like 20, which I think is pretty large, but let's give that a try. See what that looks like. What am I doing? Planet 2. My brain's already fried. Okay. Let's see here. So now we just kind of wait till one of the ranged ones come over and test this out. I'm actually gonna... Okay, cool. One issue. They are, like, barely fucking moving. Also, I think they're not quite spawning the direction I want them to. That's okay, though. That is a good start. So, let's bump the bullet force up to, like, fucking 50. In addition... actually, let's leave it that way. Maybe it was spawning the right rotation. It's just they were hitting it immediately. Let's try, like, 50. See what that does. Should probably create like a testing scene where I don't have to like load through this every single time, but whatever. It is fine. God, recreating a player movement is gonna be such a pain. It's okay. You're not a ranged one. You are, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's really adding much force. Okay, their object detection needs to be worked on. They're kind of just popping out and falling. Good news is they do seem to be... Why are they just, like, falling? There's, like, no force being added to it. I add force here. Put it at, like, 50. I feel like that should be doing something. Strange. Let me look at the projectile again and how I have that set up. I actually haven't done this yet, I realized, because all the players' stuff is raycasting. Actually, this is my first time doing a projectile on the planet, so bound to run into issues. What did I put it under? Prefabs. I think I did projectiles, yeah. So it has a rigid body on it. Not using gravity, has no constraints, the mass of 1. It could have something to do with this. Let's see what happens if I turn this off. I wonder if somehow that's like, because, yeah, this is adding force to the planet direct. Oh, wait, I might know what it is. I meant to do force mode.impulse on this. That probably is why. I'll go ahead and turn the gravity back on. That could be... Because I think you can apply force multiple... Unless the... My only worry is that this is somehow, like, overriding the force that I'm adding there, which I don't think is how that works, but it might be. And if so, then we will learn about that very quickly. Prefabs, projectiles. Turn you back on. Let's see here. If it still doesn't work, I guess I'll go ahead and turn this off and see if it does work. And if it does, we're going to have to do some coding wizardry. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, now that's way too much force. So let's go ahead and screw with it a little bit. I think prefabs vermin ranged. Let's go ahead and do like a force of 15. Does seem like the projectile's not quite facing the right direction. Could be going crazy. Let's see, projectiles. I think that's because, yeah, I need to rotate the GFX to face the blue arrow. That also means I need to now adjust the box collider, which is fine. Do that. And shit. Okay, cool. We are good there. Let's see how that feels now, and then we can handle the damage. I think I can just do an on collision enter for the damage, keep it simple. Planet is looking pretty cool now. Why is it so bright right there? The fuck? The sun is off. What is causing that? Oh, the sun is not off. I thought I turned you off. Whatever. Wish it wasn't so bright so I could fucking see things. That seems to be working the way I want it to. Cool. A little more force would probably be good. Also, I think... Yeah, see, they're too easy to dodge right now, I feel like. I mean, well, it is like a... There's gonna be like a lot of them, though. Yeah, like... That's the thing. So, I mean, I don't know why how I ended up making the prefab so small. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is... Number one, I am actually going to size this up just a tad. I'll do like 1.2 overall. Like so. And what I'd like to do as well is... Actually, I think I'm going to keep the force how it is. Now I need to do the damage, and... I think the best way, like I said, to do that would be an on collision enter. Here's the only thing, so it's kind of nice being able to set the damage here. I could create like a projectile script and then transfer the damage into that. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I could have the collision handled by just the player's collision manager, but if I want the damage to scale, I'd need to pass it into that, which is fine. Sure, we'll do it that way for now. I could also pass this value like into a script on the bullet and do it that way. Well, do I want to do it that way? Actually, that might not be a bad idea. I mean, I could just do that here. Seems like a lot of extra work. Like, not work, but like just computing. I for the sake of organization, like, is it worth it? I don't know. I think maybe it is. So in that case, what I would want to do, just I don't want to clog up the player collision manager with more references. I'm gonna need to create a script, and I guess this would be. Let's put it in here. I'll just call this projectile. And the script is very simple. It's just going to act as a way to just hold the damage data. So it's going to go on my, on this. And it's going to have a public float damage. And actually, one thing, yeah. It's gonna have a public float damage. Although I think I'd like to just hide this in the inspector. I think it's like hide and inspector just above this should work. Okay, so we have a public float damage. I shouldn't see it in the inspector here, as long as I type that right. Good. What I'm going to do then is when we spawn one of these in, we're going to pass our damage value into there. So I'll say that the scene manager, we should do it like here, I guess. Say that instance dot get component projectile dot damage is equal to the attack damage. So that transfers this value into here. And then what we can do very easily from our player collision manager on our player is, this will be an on collision enter. I don't think I'm going to check for tag here. We can just check if it has the component. If other.gameObject.get component. Isn't there a way to like, it's like has, no. I thought there was a way to check if it has a specific component differently, but whatever. Get component projectile is not equal to null, so it has that component on it. Then we have a reference to our health manager here, right? Oh, we don't. What the fuck? Fuck, don't we have a reference to the health manager? Okay, well, we're doing that now then. What is it called? Is it just player health manager? Or do we even have it here? Player health. Yeah. Private player health. Player health. Player health is equal to find object by type. Oh wait, no, we don't even need to do that. Player health is equal to I think just game object dot get component player health, because this is attached to the same object that script is on. And then we can do player health dot take damage, and then it will be the other dot game object dot get component projectile dot damage. There we go. Okay. Okay. That should do what I want it to do. Let me bring the player health back down to a reasonable number. I'm going to put it at 100. And let's see if this works. So right now in my prefabs, you do how much damage? 10. I'm gonna put it at like 5. Okay, well, let's just give it a test run here, and hopefully the player will take damage from the projectiles. And if that's the case, then we can scratch that one off the list. Put it at 2. Can't wait to actually make this game look good. We need to make sure things are working first. So let's just wait for one of them. Come on. Here we go. Hey, there we go. Nice. Now one thing. Oops. Nice. Good. Perfect. Awesome. That's exactly what I wanted. That is working. Okay, so range tech done. Now, this one. So, have a chance for enhanced enemies to spawn that have more health, do more damage, and are faster. Chance of spawn should increase with objectives completed. This is basically the equivalent to, like, elites in Risk of Rain 2 is my idea for this. Now, the trick here is I want to just... actually, I gotta think of how I want to do this. I'd rather not create, like, an elite version of each type. I'd rather just, like, spawn it in and then alter the values and maybe just have some visual indication that it's an elite. So, like, what we could do to signify it as elite, just at least right now, let's just do, like, fucking Because it was this, like, particle effect pack I've been using. Yeah, Cartoon VFX just for now. Prefabs, here we go. Electric. No. Could do something like this, which could be kind of cool. So I could zero this out and shrink it way down. Something like that. There we go. Cool. Have it off by default, turn it on if it's an elite. So, what we need to do now is, I think in the... where do I want to do this? What's universal between them? I mean, I could create a separate script that determines if it's an elite or not, but they're all going to have a health manager on them. But, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should have a separate script. I could also have the spawner do it, but I don't know if I want to do that. I feel like... I mean, I guess it could make sense for the spawner. So, like... Hold on. Let me go to my scenes here. Shit. Wrong thing. There we go. So, it could make sense that my spawners, so like this one here, in the spawn function, spawn vermin, it has a chance for it to be an elite, and if it is, it takes this instant, goes in, turns on. Yeah, we could do that. So I want this to scale off of how many objectives I have completed, so I gotta think about how I want to do this. So we already have a reference here to our data manager, which is why I thought of doing it in here. We're already multiplying the spawner health based off the objectives completed. So in here, let's do chance for it to become elite. Or what did I call it in here? Enhanced. So I think what I should do is create a public float for enhanced spawn chance. And we'll start this at, like, it has like a 5% chance of spawning, so if it's between 0 and 1 is probably how I'll do this. What would that be? 0.05? 5% chance of spawning. And what we'll do is we'll check if... what was the function for... Am I doing that anywhere in here? Oh, how do I generate a random number? It's like random dot... No, I want to generate... There's a... Hold on. How to generate random value between 0 and 1 in Unity C#. Because I forgot. Random.value, that's literally it. I knew it was something simple. random.value, and we'll say it's less than the enhanced spawn chance. So if that randomly generated value happens to be less than this, then what we will do is change it to be enhanced. So, how do I want to do this? So AI is our reference here, so we could do AI dot, and okay, see, this is where it gets tricky though, because my AI has the visual under it. Here's what I'll do, as dumb as this is. Let's do prefabs, vermin 2. I just need to get to this health manager. So they all have this vermin health manager. I'm thinking just on here, I'll create a public reference to the, it'll actually be a game object. Public game object. Enhanced visual. Like that. And then what we can do is, now I'll actually have to set this up on each of them. Prefabs, vermin 2. It'll go there. Let me copy this. Paste it under here. Like so. It's not playing right now. Okay, cool. And I'm actually going to change this to be like enhanced visual. Same here. Enhanced visual. Why are these prefabs here and these ones aren't? Whatever. Cool. Now, the only thing is for the fearful, this isn't going to have a reference to it, but I don't need to spawn. I think what all I need to do in the spawn manager, oh, hey, wait, yeah, I can just not include it on the non-destructible. Cool. Then I don't even have to fucking worry about that. And yeah, this won't be assigned, but it's not doing anything, so who cares? That works. That works. And in that case, it's a little sloppy, but, you know, I'll just put it at the bottom here. Bottom of all the publics. Okay, cool. So now that that is a thing, we can go to this vermin spawner here. And what we will do is we will say AI dot enhanced AI dot get component, and it would be the vermin health manager dot enhanced visual dot set active to true. Okay, now that's the visual, but I actually need to change some values here. So this is where it gets a little bit weird. So I need to reference, the problem is I don't have the same damage scripts on them, because it'll be melee or ranged, and there's range damage and melee damage. So if it's a melee one, I need to reference the attack melee. They both will have aggro movement on them though, so we can start with that. So we'll say aggro movement, shit, my bad, AI dot get component aggro movement dot, and then what I want to do is in my aggro movement, which is not up here, I don't think actually, I want to change the move speed by a little bit. So where am I? Dot move speed is equal to, and then this is where things get a little tricky. We'll do the, this is kind of redundant, but it's okay. It's equal to this plus, this is where I need to create some formula. like I could do something like this. Now in this case, let's say the move speed's 4. Let's say, it's my laundry. I'll go up and do that in a sec. Okay, let's say 10 objectives have been completed times 0.05. That's an extra 0.5 movement speed. Yeah, that's fine. Sure, we'll do that. So that increases their movement speed, and then we will need to do... Let's see, if I want to increase the health, that's pretty easy. And actually, maybe we won't do the damage right now. One, because I don't necessarily know if I want to increase the damage. Number two, it's kind of harder because then I have to check which one it is and then grab it, but it's not a huge deal. Actually, it isn't that hard to do. I'm just lazy right now. Anyway, let's do... where's the Vermin Health Manager? Here it is. Max health. We'll say that the current health is equal to the max health. Wait, when will this happen? I think the start function will run first in the... This actually might have some problems because... We'll see what happens, I guess. Let's just use this formula here, but we will change it to this. Actually, we can do objectives completed times like 10. Do something like that. Okay. The only concern with the health is that this will run first, or will run after potentially. I guess we'll see what happens here. Now, I'm not affecting damage yet. I can just do, like... Here. We'll do if the AI dot get component, and then it would be the attack ranged. Is not equal to null. Then what we can do is say AI dot get component attack ranged dot, and it's just attack damage is equal to... Why was I doing... I should have just done fucking plus equal... Whatever. Wait, no. Plus equal... Doesn't matter, either way, whatever. Just do it this way. It's equal to itself multiplied by... The damage I don't want to increase too fast, for sure. I need to be careful about that. And again, these are all things I can change. So yeah, if it's 5 stages, it's 0.5 damage increase. I mean, that's probably fine. So we'll keep it there for now. And then we'll do else if it just would be attack melee. And then it would be the same idea here. And we can change what the scaling values are. I just right now want to keep it simple, so we'll do attack melee attack melee. Alright, that's a lot of slop right there. It's fine. Also for this random value here, I'm actually going to just put this at, just do like 0.5 for the time being. And actually, let me make a little comment here. I'll do 0.5 for the time being, so it's like a 50-50 chance they're enhanced or not, so I can actually test this, because otherwise it's going to be very unlikely they actually spawn. So I'd rather just test it this way. So let's test if this works. Now, right now I have like no objectives completed, so I don't think it's going to really do much. Wait, I just realized something. Aren't I already scaling? Yeah, I'm already scaling my... Wait, what am I fucking doing? That was not how I wanted to handle that. I'm a doofus. It already scales off of stages completed. What I would want to do in here is... This is the issue of, like, will this run before the other thing runs? I feel like... I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have done it in here. Fuck. I didn't think about that because... Oh, I don't even know if it's first yet. Shit. Shit, fuck. Damn it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. This was stupid. This was stupid and dumb. Had the right idea. Stupid, though. This is fine. Enhanced spawn chance. That's okay. Whoa. That's fine. What's not okay is how I was doing that because it just complicates things. I should instead just create like a public bool for is enhanced. That's what I'm just gonna do. So let's do a public bool is enhanced. In here we'll say is enhanced AI dot get component Vermin Health Manager dot is enhanced is equal to true, and then AI dot get component Vermin Health Manager dot enhanced visual dot set active true. Let's not handle any of the fucking values in here. Let's just set that to true, and then this has a boolean it can go off of. That'll work fine. Change this to 0.5 now, and then we will test that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do that. So I gotta quickly deal with laundry. When I come back, we'll test if they're spawning in the enhanced versions, then we'll mess with the values. So BRB again. Okay, I am back. Let me set an alarm for laundry, so an hour 15 minutes again. Okay. So, let's test this out. Hopefully, this works the way I want it to. I think I have everything set up correctly. So yeah, both of these will have this on. Let's just see if this works. So it should be a 50% chance right now, because I just hard-coded that in. If that's doing what I want it to do, then that is great. I'll probably cap it at like maximum 50% enhanced as the player scales it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. We'll just kind of wait here for them to come. Yeah, this restore up shit. I don't know what the fuck that is. It pisses me off. When I restart Visual Studio, then it's fine. Pew. Pew. Yeah, there we go. You're enhanced. So, I'm going to pause this real quick. So, you're not enhanced. You're not enhanced, so your enhanced visual is on. Why? Hey. Oh, wait, this one is enhanced. I shouldn't see it. This one's off. Good. Okay. Cool. That seems to be working. Amazing. Now what I need to do is, I think what I'm going to do is, on attack melee, for example, I'll get a private reference to the Vermin Health Manager. Just say Health Manager. And all I got to do in the start is just say that the Health Manager is equal to GameObject.getComponent Health Manager. It's on the same object. And what I'll do down here is just say, after the attack damage is calculated, actually, from the scaling, so attack damage plus equals that, that's great. Then what we'll also do is say, if health manager dot is enhanced is true, we'll say that the attack damage multiply equals, we'll do like 1.5 times more damage. And then I think I'll just leave hard-coded. That's the enhanced modifier, at least for now. Okay, so if it's enhanced, it'll multiply whatever the attack damage is after the scaling by 1.5, which is perfect. Then we'll do the same thing for the attack ranged. Need a private Vermin Health Manager. Health Manager. Health Manager is equal to GameObject dot find shit. That's not what I want. GameObject dot get component Vermin Health Manager. Same thing. Cool. Now what I'll do is for the movement, aggro movement, do a similar thing. Don't think this has a reference. No, it doesn't. Private Vermin Health Manager, and we'll say that the Health Manager is equal to GameObject dot get component Vermin Health Manager. And in here what we'll do is say if just do it right under here. Shit, I got rid of it. we'll say that if it's enhanced, that the move speed is also multiplied by 1.5. Okay, I think that's all I need to do. Now let's see if the values change properly. Could even increase the fire rate actually on the ranged if I wanted to. That might be fun. And then we will add back in the difficulty scaling affecting the chance that it spawns in. Enhanced. So I don't really actually... Fuck. Okay, pause. That should be enough. This one is enhanced. So, let's see here. Its move speed is 6. What's the move speed of a non-enhanced one? Move speed is 4. Okay, great. The attack melee. Attack damage is 15 on this one. This one's not enhanced. Oh wait, I actually had the... Can we get a melee that's not enhanced? That melee is enhanced. Fuck. All the melees that have spawned have happened to be enhanced. Hold on. Spawn me some more. Okay, this one's not. Attack damage is 10. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh yeah, the health as well. Max health of 40 on the enhanced. Didn't I change the max health? Oh, did I forget to do that one? Could have sworn I did that. Vermin Health Manager. Oh, actually, the only problem with that is the shouldn't be a problem because it should always be off no matter what on the other, because the spawner for non-destructible doesn't even do that, so that's fine. So yeah, I should be able to increase that. Do I want to increase the health? I don't think I'm going to, actually. I think I'm just going to do speed and damage. I think that's a better way of scaling. So we're going to do that, and next what I need to do is for the vermin spawner, this should be the enhanced spawn chance. And that is being calculated by nothing. Right, it's 0.5 right now, so I need to actually do enhanced spawn chance. So wait, if I want this to have a higher chance, this needs to go up. So enhanced spawn chance plus... And then we'll do this. So... Let's say I had completed, say fucking 10 stages. Do a calculation here. 10 times 10 times 0.05 would be 0.5. That doesn't take that long. Let's do times 0.02. So 10 times 0.02. Yeah, I think that will be better. Okay, cool. So by default, this will be nothing because it'll be 0. And the enhanced spawn chance starts at 0.05. So it'll be 0.05 plus, yeah. Cool. So it starts at a 5% chance of spawning them in, so I shouldn't get many. I guess what I can do, we can see if I happen to get one. I mean, 5% chance, like if 100 spawn, one of them should be, but the player will probably fucking die before that. Although I guess here, for testing purposes, let's go to our player and make the health be something stupid, so I don't die. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. There we go. It should be pretty rare that we actually get an enhanced. But ideally, like if 100 spawn, 5 of them would be enhanced, you know. So we'll kind of just keep letting these spawn and just kind of go through. Not enhanced, not enhanced, not enhanced, not enhanced, not enhanced, not enhanced. Not enhanced, not enhanced, not enhanced. If I don't get one, it's fine. I'm just kind of... just want to make sure that it's... the odds are doing what they're supposed to do. If enough of them are attacking the player at once, it is possible the player could die, actually. We'll see. The health bar isn't going down, but that's because the visual isn't properly tied now, because it's not the same as how much health the player actually has. And these are enhanced so far. Again, not surprising. Could also, again, I could get none after it spawns like 200, but... how's performance? Surprisingly not too horrible with all of these. I could start it at a higher rate. Maybe 5%'s a little low? I don't know. Really thought I would have actually seen one by now, I'm not gonna lie. Like kind of stuck in there. I've gotten like none so far. Can increase the chance. I don't know. Like, I know 5%'s low, but I feel like I would have seen one by now. Okay, let's increase it a little bit. Let's increase the default. So, I closed Visual Studio. Okay, hold on. Let's start it at like 10%. Now, will that change it in? The actual spawners? Hold on. Is that a private? It is public. Does it need to be public? I feel like I would want to make this private. It's not changing there, it's just changing when I do this calculation. Let's make you private. Okay, so yeah, 10%. I'm assuming it's working. It's just like 10 fucking words. 5% was a little low, I guess. I'd like to see some. I mean, like, I guess I could put it at like 0.3. Let's just make sure that the equation is not like bugging it out or something, because it should only be, it should be adding a 0. It's not like it's multiplying by 0 and making it a 0% chance. So now there's like a 30% chance, and I don't think I have any objectives completed, so it's not any higher than that. But there's one. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's just 5% is really fucking low, I guess. So yeah. We'll do 0.1% chance. That's fine. That seems to all be doing what it's supposed to. I could increase the fire rate. I don't think I'm going to worry about that right now. I can increase the fire rate based on time. So that's what I wanted to do there. Let's see. Oh, this task, dude. This one is gonna suck. I don't know if I want to do that right now. You know what? I think I'll finish off by working on some textures, actually. That sounds fun. So, my thought for the style of this game is that, obviously it's kind of like, retro-y looking. I want it to be like pixelated textures. So, to start with like Vermin 1 Planet, which I could make these in Photoshop. Right now I have this ground texture, but it doesn't look the way I want it to. I want it to be like pixel art, kinda. So I'll start by trying to recreate this. I do have a thought. I'm not sure if Substance Designer is actually going to be good for this. I may just want to do this in Photoshop, which is fine. I'm curious, though, if when I make the material, I can set the resolution to like 64 by 64, like if it'll go that low. So if I go like New Graph and then set it to, oh sweet, yeah. So like 64 by 64 pixels. And then create. It's just kind of a test right now. And like if I use a noise map, does it look good when it ends up, if I put clouds in here? Oh yeah, see, that actually is doing what I want it to do. Yeah. So now the question is, well, it's a little blurry actually. Let's see what happens when I plug this into some other things. Why are you all blurry? Because the problem is, I think Photoshop might produce crisper outputs. I don't know. Yeah, why are you all blurry? But is it like just this is blurry, but it won't be blurry when I do the actual, like this visual here? Like here it looks fine. I don't know why this is so blurry. I don't like it. I don't know. We could try doing it in here. Maybe kind of use this preview, kind of ignore it. So yeah, like let's say I'm creating like a dirt texture for the ground, which this one is kind of, I don't really know what I did here. Whatever. Let's just put this through like a gradient map, connect that up, and then do like darkers will be like a darker brown color, and then lighter one will be like a more green color. Like even just this, like how does something like this look, right, when I bring it in? Shit. I actually don't want to save this yet. I'm gonna ignore this. Hell, I'll even ignore the height map. See, like, I don't even know if I even want this ambient occlusion here either. Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, fuck. I did it stupid. I messed the output up. Fuck. Hold on. There it is. I'm just gonna start by exporting the normal map and the base color, or even just the fucking base color. So like if I go here and I go export outputs, let's literally just do the base color. Actually, I'll do both. I can test it with and without. sRGBs. Where is this going? Just go to my desktop. This is just kind of a test. Export done. Okay, so I have these. And then in Unity, let's just like out here. Oh yeah, this test spawn object. I forgot I was messing with that. I'm just gonna delete that prefab. Go away. This was just kind of a test material as well. I'll leave that there for now. So Test material. And let's import these two into here and see how they import over. So I want this to be the base color. And let's actually just do the base color for now. Make it not rough. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Hold on. Make sure that's 64. Apply. Tiling, that's the wrong thing. I want this to be more tiled. Let's do like 20 by 20. It's really dark. Oh, I think also I did have a slight emission on the other one. Like, I think I did this just so you could, like, see it better. It was very slight. I don't know why this one is really dark, though. Anyway, let me turn it off, actually. Like, if I put the normal map in. Ooh. Now it's very, very dark. I don't know if I even want the normal maps, honestly. Like, I might not need them for textures this simple. So, the material that I used before... Yeah, this... Or it was this one. Yeah, I do have an emission map on it, so that way it's a little brighter. Yeah. Also changed the base map up a bit, it looks like. See, is it... I feel like it's just so blurry. Like, I don't know. Out of curiosity, like if I put it on something like this, put the tiling back at like 0.5 by 0.5, it feels like each individual, yeah, it's like all muddy. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like the way the image was exported or something. It's just not quite what I'm looking for. Let me try messing with this a little bit, though. So I could do something like this. It just, but like, it loses like the, yeah, no. This isn't doing what I want it to do. Okay, so that was a good test. I don't think I'm going to use Substance Designer for this. Maybe there's some export settings that look a little better. Let me go ahead and reassign the other material I had. There it is. Round one. Also, my phone is being stupid. What the fuck? Okay, so let's instead go into Photoshop, which I think I have installed right now. I hope I have installed right now. Fuck, I do not. Never mind, we won't do textures right now. At the very least, I figured out I will need to do them in Photoshop. Let's see, what else could I work on then if I'm not doing textures and I don't really want to do modeling? Stress test modifier system, make it so all weapons. I guess I can do this. Make it so all weapons when destructible can knock over lamps and trees. So right now, I believe how I have it set up with the player is... Yeah, light pole tree. It's like an on collision enter. What I would need to do for, like, let's say the laser gun, which is here. Destructible. Here we go, flammable layers. It's actually been a while since I've looked at this, so I'm gonna have to remember how this works again. Good God. Handle beam hit. There we go. Fuck. Okay, so this is where I'm detecting what it's hitting. I need to do a similar thing that I'm doing for the Planet Collision Manager here. So it's light pole and tree. Start with light pole. So what I want to do here is, let's see, this is for the fire impact. Okay, so let's do this. If hit.collider.layer is a light post, is that what it was called again? Light pole. Don't need to worry about this. What I want to do is the same thing I did in here. Other dot game object component, planet gravity, unfreeze, streetlight, false. This is basically all I would need to do. And it would be hit.gameObject. Hit.collider.gameObject, my bad. God. Hit.collider.gameObject. So that's the light pole. It should only be happening if destructible, right? Wait, if destructible. I would need to do that in here. Okay, hold on. So this moves up into here. Like so. Okay. So this would handle the light pole. And then similar thing to the tree. Planet Collision Manager, tree. But we're just unfreezing the gravity. We might need to add some force to it, but that's okay. Let's just do this for now, unfreeze. Okay. So, yeah, we'll test this just with the laser beam first. Also, just so I can add a fuckload to my, because I need to test these augments. Let me go to brain is not working scene, main scene, there we go. Game manager. Planet manager, let me do, it would actually be in the UI. Menus, that's what I want. Shop. How was I doing this? Augment price. Oh god, I really don't want to fuck with this. It's fine. So credit.txt uses, this is just getting, where am I actually detecting when I'm buying shit? Hold on. Purchase. It's the game manager, that's right, okay. It's under collected augment. Which the fuck, where is it? No extraction, begin extract, increase score, handle destruction, hyperdrive. What did you call? What the hell? Collected. Oh, data manager.collected augment. I see. Right. Okay. Game manager references the data. Where's the data manager? There it is. Okay. Collect augments. So here I'm checking if my money, blah blah blah, is great or whatever the fuck. What I'm gonna do is just comment this out so I don't have to worry about that. So if the money is whatever, player data, the money minus equals. Oops. Let's just do this for now. That I do need to still do though. Okay. I just want to do that temporarily so I can just buy as many augments as I want to test this. I do need the destructible modifier though, and I don't know if I have that, which I could add. I do need to test if the laser doesn't knock shit down when it's so yeah, I have like nothing right now. Just spamming this, I think. Why no exit out of this? Fuck me. Okay. Ugh, I need to make sure that that's working. I don't really care about the menus working perfectly right now, though. I just need... There we go. Cool. Laser beam. Go in there. Now, it shouldn't knock over anything, because I don't have the destructible modifier on it. But hopefully we can get the destructible modifier from killing the vermin. Maybe I should just manually add it, but whatever. Still need to test this anyway, so maybe we'll get it. Okay, so this should not, yeah, it's not knocking anything over or damaging it, which is good. Now, actually, what I can do, fuck even getting the modifier. Let me put this back. We can just go into the code and just force it to do it. So, laser beam. I have this indestructible right now. Let's just... Oh, this is a problem. Actually, it should not be in here. That's bad. Just do this. Okay. I didn't realize that was also checking if something was sliceable or not. I mean, let's just fucking do this. It's fine. If destructible. Put these in here. But, for now, I'm going to comment this out to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. And let's try this out. It should save what augment I have equipped, I think. Although I did fuck with the data a little bit, but it's okay. And how that system works. I think it should stay equipped. It did not. Okay. That's something to fix later. Saves the modifiers though, I know that, so I'll need to just put a note there of needs to save augments being in their correct slots. Okay, so this should knock over lamps and shit. I don't think it'll destroy buildings though, because I didn't. Okay. My question now is, didn't knock it over, but I think that's just because I'm not... God damn it, where's the player? This is the tree I targeted. It did turn this on. Because like if I look at another tree, this is off, so that's good. Yeah, I will need to apply some force to it, which is kind of a pain in the ass. It's not a huge deal, but that is annoying. Let me make sure that this works on lamps. Yeah, it's turning on the planet gravity shit. It's just not applying force. So I think what I'll need to do, as much as I don't want to do this, is to hit... Fuck. Dot collider dot game object dot get component rigid body dot add force. Now I thought I could have sworn I had a whatever, fuck it, I'll hard code it in. Add force in the fucking, I don't even know, like, how I want to do this. I need to add force to the tree or the lamp, but preferably in the opposite direction the player is or the direction that the player is facing, I guess. But that seems kind of dumb. It should really get a vector between the player and the... Oh, I don't want to deal with that right now. Do I have a reference to the player? The camera. Okay, let's just do this for now. This is fucking stupid, but I can change it later. I am feeling myself being done with working on this right now, so we're just gonna put this in. So camera multiplied by fucking, I don't know, 2. Sorry, camera dot transform dot forward times 2 force mode dot impulse. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Copy. Paste that under here. Great. Let's put this at like 4 just to make sure. So ideally it should launch it back too. What I really need to do, which I have done actually already for like calculations for shooting the vermin, is have it just launch in the opposite direction of wherever it was, the hit point was, but I just don't want to do that right now, even though that's technically just copy paste code, but I just want this to just do shit. Hold on. Okay. Feel as though you didn't do what I wanted you to do. Why? Fuck. Why did you not? Oh, it didn't turn it on. Fuck. Defook. Why? Why? Oh, no, it did. Planet gravity was on. I'm stupid. That face planet thing is just editor. Why did you not do this? I unfreeze it. I add force. I mean, when in doubt, add some zeros, right? Don't know why it wouldn't be, because it's definitely enabling planet gravity. Oh, I think I know what it is, actually. No, I think I just realized. It's not going to work again, because I forgot. I believe what's happening here is the... rigid body is locked, if I remember. Yes, I need to... Okay, this is fine. I know how to fix this. Let's put this back at 4, because that was not the issue. What I need to do is say hit dot collider, which... Where am I doing that in here? Wait, yeah, isn't that what unfreeze... Wait a minute. Isn't that what fucking unfreeze should do? Hey! This function is not fucking working. Planet gravity unfreeze. Hold on. Hold on. Something ain't right. Yeah, planar gravity's on by default. I'm a dumbass. It's not turning it on. It's supposed to be calling this fucking unfreeze function, which disables constraints. That's what it's supposed to do, so it hasn't been working at all. I don't know why I thought it was turning it on. Like a doofus. Forgot how my own system works. So why aren't you doing that? Hit target image layer equals light pole unfreeze. Tree unfreeze. Let's do a debug here. Okay. Debug dot log unfreeze. Also, let me double check. Where is this handle beam hit? Right. Let's just do it for the tree right now. Not sure why it wouldn't be detecting it hitting this, because yeah, like what's the difference here? It's just checking a layer. Okay, as long as, yeah, unless it needs the, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay, because the player is able to touch it too when it's detecting it. Let's try this again. Scenes, main scene. The fuck is this? Okay, hold on. Let me just restart the editor real quick. Maybe it's just being fucking stupid. So, ideally, when I hit a tree with the laser, I should get a debug, but if I don't even get that, then I'm not exactly sure why it's not detecting that it has hit it. It should be. It has a collider on it. Fuck, I didn't equip the laser. I don't know why it's not saving. I thought I set that up. I know it saves modifiers fine, it's just I must have not set that up correctly. That's okay though. Something I can put on the task list to fix later. See, it's little things like this. Like, I thought this task wouldn't be that hard, but for some reason it's not detecting collision, which does not make it a sense. Okay, so when it hits a tree, yeah, it is just not debugging at all. Why? This is working. Why is this not working? Is this working? Now I don't. Now I'm not convinced that is even working. If it's not hitting the tree. Hold on. Can I kill vermin fine with my laser still? So now I'm concerned. Wait, I just noticed. It does seem to be... Wait, something is wrong with the trees, because it's not even painting it with fire. Why? Yeah, see, it's going through it. What the fuck? Hold on. Okay, let me, like, double check that it's hitting vermin fine. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Something is terribly wrong. It's not even, like... The fuck? Oh. Oh. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. I think I know what I did. I think I'm really dumb because I think I forgot how I did stupid. Okay, well, I didn't realize that I did that. So, it's not a flammable layer. What are these layered as right now? I don't know. So, I'll probably just layer these, like... I don't even know. Technically, this is organic, but... It's like debris, but I feel like that's going to cause some other serious problems because... I could create a new layer and just call it, like... I could layer it as destructible. And wouldn't that cause, like, some issues with... Because I think... Let's just fucking... I have a tag tree. It's so annoying. Could make it planet, but I think that's gonna fuck up the other surface.